stillness of the body and stillness of the mind. That's how you can see the truth. You can see what is called Paramata Dhamma, Rupa, Chitta, Cetasika, and Nibbana. This is what called Paramata Dhamma, the truth, ultimate truth. Name and form. When you close your eyes, focus on the breath as you feel it. You're moving from level of sensuality to the level of form, right? It is a step up. The pressure that can come from the level of the form are much more refined and much more less likely to lead to unskillful behavior than the pressure of the sensualities. I would like you to try familiarize yourself with this level. The form is rupa in Pali. It actually has many different meanings, but in the meditation, this is one of them. The body as you feel it from within. It is composed of the four properties or elements. These are the flow of the energy, that is the breath or the wind element. There is the warmth, that is the fire element. There is the coolness, that is the water element. There is a sense of the solidity, and that is the earth element. This is the rupa or the form that you experience when you are meditating or in the meditation. We focus on the breath first because it's the element most responsive to the mind. So we could say to ourselves, short breathing, and the breath will get shorter. Or we could say longer, and this is get longer, deeper, more shallow, heavier, lighter. And that's how we can play with it. I think this is our first experience of the body, rupa. This is something we tend to miss. We think of the body as being basically solid because that's our perception of it. But one of the important things we are going to learn as we familiarize ourselves with these various properties or elements is the role that perception plays in emphasizing one or another. We come to know that the body is not just a plain sensation. There is a perception behind every sensation. So we are emphasizing the perception of the breath, holding in the mind the image that the breath can be an energy. It's not just the air coming in and out. It is an energy in the body itself. There is a feeling of flow that comes in, goes out. There is also the movement of the energy around inside the body. It emanates from the body, one spot in the body, or sometimes several spots in the body as we breathe in and always spread throughout the body. It starts in the body, but it can go everywhere throughout the body if you let it go. And your perception of it is going to be help. So if you have trouble feeling the breath in any part of the body, you can just tell yourself it is there. Whatever you are sensing is the breath. So if you can perceive it from that angle, for the other elements or the properties, you'll be experiencing them to some extent as you are focusing on the breath. There will be a part that feel very solid other than feeling warm, maybe feeling cool. When my mom was teaching the meditation, she said, you can play with those little bit, but you really get serious about them when the breath has been taken care of. In other words, you'll fill the body with the breath energy. All the breath channels in the body are well connected, and the energy level is full of that you feel less and less need to breathe in and breathe out. The energy feels balanced and suffused everywhere. It is so well connected that if there is a lack of the breath energy in one part of the body, an excess from another part will come right in to make up the lack. That's when my mom would have everybody think about a fire element. When we're working with the breath, we start with one spot in the body. I many times saying begin with the nostril, where it make you more comfortable, and then you can let that comfortable breath spread all over. With fire, you find Whatever spot in the body seems warmness. Focus your attention there. Hold in mind the perception of the warmth at the same time. You may find that you are turning up the heat a little bit, which on a cool night, like this is the present. And think of the spreading. You can do the same with the water. There's a sensation of the coolness in the body. Then there's a solidity, earth. You could think of the bones. And from there, think of the whole body being solid. When you are familiar with each of these elements, then you think of bringing them into balance. Not too heavy, not too light, not too warm, not too cold. And then try to maintain that sense of balance. It's a form there that you can go into the formless state. But before going to the formless, you have got to get yourself really familiar with the form. So we work with this element, give a sense of the well-being, familiarize ourselves with the body as we feel it from within, and to see the connection it has with what is called nama. It covers the other four aggregates: feeling, perception, mental fabrication, and consciousness. See how the breath connect to them. It actually, the mental fabrication get divided up into intention, mental contact, and this is how the meditation gets us into the dependent or origination or dependent co-arising. All this is dependent on consciousness. Consciousness is dependent on this, and the two of them together are dependent on fabrication, which is another word for intention. That's how insight lies in seeing that extent to which your experience of the body, as you feel it from within, shaped by your intention, the way you pay attention to things, And your perception is not simply a given. You want to be able to bring that fact to the foreground because too often the perception are subconscious. At the beginning of my meditation training, I was finding harder and harder to breathe during the meditation. It just seemed like everything in the body was way too solid, was way too unresponsive. The more I tried to breathe, the less the body seemed willing to breathe. I finally had a chance to talk to my mom. She said, "Well, you are focusing on the earth." Mm, It had not occurred to me at all. She said, "Focus on the space instead. That clear up the problem right then and there." The lesson I learned, of course, is the power of subconscious perception, which is why it's good to bring them out into the open. Me and my mom doing the same thing. We learn the relationship between body and mind through the meditation. We are not really analyze the ultimate truth from the book. So my explanation regarding the dependent origination maybe have some have more different from other people explain. And this is how actually you learn about how mindfulness relate to action or karma. How does it relate to the causality, right? How does it relate to the quality of the mind, like goodwill? How does it relate to all actions? And you can really have a new establishment of body and mind. Good friendship of body and mind. By beginning, simply bring your mind to be in the present moment. And that's how the mindfulness can take care of the body as well as the mind. This is how you learn the relationship of the body and mind from the breath. We are here focusing on the breath because we want to learn about the mind, right? We want to see how the mind responds with even the first or a single breath. We want to learn about the activities of the nama or the mind because this is the mental side that causing suffering. It's also the mental side where the solution to the problem of the suffering is going to be found. Our experience of the body is a good place to learn a lot or the principles. Try to synthesize ourselves to the way the breath feels and to what we can do with our different perception of the breath to give rise to the sense of the well-being because this is the purpose of meditation practice to give us a sense of the well-being at the same time sensitizing us to what we are doing in the present moment so that we can be mindful and alert to see where craving and clinging are coming into the whole process and how we can let them go. No doubt, that's why the Buddha said those who practice the mindfulness immersed in the body will see the deathless. Looking into experience of the body, begin to see more and more of the mind in the action in the present moment. Through taking part the activities of the mind, that's when we open up to something that's beyond the mind, beyond the body. So we have to pay a lot of attention right here. Forgive yourself. Forgive for all the mistake that we did. Forgive everyone else, your loved one, your family members, your friends. Transferring your goodwill, good wish to all around you, far from you, close to you. Wish them all to be free from all kinds of suffering. Sape satta avera hotu, apaya pacha hotu, anika hotu, sukhi atanang pariharantu. Thank you very much for joining class. Wish you all having a good night. See you next time.